powerful system, what we have, is the subconscious. The subconscious is a fascinating operating system. First of all, it has about 40 million bit per second processing power. And it actually needs that. Why? Because when you see what the subconscious is, it is a recording and playback device. It records everything what happens any given moment in your life. Whether you put attention on it or not, it records every sound, your 5 senses are experiencing, every taste, and every thought and every emotion you have. So, in other words, and that's a scientific fact, in your memory, what is stored is, for example, when you had your 5th birthday, how the cake smelled, what mom was saying, who were your friends there, what music was playing, what were you feeling, experiencing, did you cut your finger, yes or not, it's all there. Every moment of your life is recorded. And it does it for a particular purpose, because when the recording gets repeated, so it records the same thing over and over again, the subconscious makes it a program. That program is now like a batch file on the computer. It executes particular commands for a particular purpose. For example, I was a toddler and I looked at the adults and I saw that they are, of course not consciously, I saw that they are walking on 2 legs. So I tried to imitate it. And got up, fell down, got up, fell down, got up, fell down. And at some stage, I managed to stand on 2. So this walking became, in the act of repeating it time and time again, a program. In order now for me to get out of my chair, I wouldn't be able to do that with my mind. My mind has no idea how to command my muscles in order to get the spacesuit out of the chair. So, but my mind is making the decision. Then the subconscious is uploading the program walking into my brain, because the brain is coordinating the muscles in the body and everything else what is needed. So upload program, walking, and here we go, I'm getting out of my chair and now I can walk. Same with language. In order to, for example, change my language, the program German would need to be uploaded into my brain und dann spreche ich in Deutsch weiter und dann kann ich auch wieder zurückgehen into English. So everything what you are able to do automatically is a program, which is great because, for example, the program driving a car gets you home most of the time safely while you are focusing completely on the conversation with your passenger. And you don't even remember the last time you actually consciously broke at a red light. But it just happens because your subconscious is running the driving program. So, the subconscious does not think. It records and playbacks. It doesn't have an inherent intelligence. In other words, the consequence is that it does not decide whether to record or not according to good or bad. It records simply everything, like every video camera is recording that what you pointed to. Whether it's a crime or bad or not bad is not of the video camera's concern. So when your dad told you that you are stupid and he repeated that over and over again, guess what the subconscious did? Created a program, I'm stupid. Then your life is an unfoldment to prove to everyone that you're not stupid. If anybody tries now to point the finger to you and puts you into the corner where the chances that you could be perceived as stupid, you go hectically into reaction, you defend yourself, and you probably are one of those who study all night long in order to do one exam after the next exam after the next exam in order to prove to yourself and to the world that you are not stupid. That's probably what your life is going to be about. Or you were told that you're bad. Then your life is about to prove that you're not bad, that you're good. Then you become a pleaser. Then you always avoid any kind of conflict because that would get you back into the program, I'm bad. There are many programs. I'm not worthy. It's a program many people have. I don't deserve it. I'm not lovable. I'm bad. Or if you were sick as a child many times, then you have the program, I'm ill. And then that program is subject to be triggered and play in your mind. Now, the trigger of any of those programs could be anything that is part of what was recorded. So when your dad, for example, said that, let's go back to that example, then the visual of the dad, the tone of the voice of the dad, everything is recorded. And everything that is recorded could, when you experience it in the here and now, be a potential trigger to get that program uploaded. Let's say when I was 3 years old, I had an aunt with red hair who treated me oftentimes very harshly. So she intimidated me. So I developed a program feeling small. But part of the recording is aunt with red hair. Any person in the here and now that my five senses are experiencing, you for example, could be a potential trigger to get that program uploaded. So suddenly I feel in the presence of Anna small, intimidated. But I can't explain it because I don't know her. Then my mind needs an explanation. It always needs something to understand. So my mind makes up a story that she probably has a different agenda in some business. She wants to sell me something or she wants to do something with me. I don't know what it is, but I rather stay away from her. That will now shape my behavior and my actions. If we happen to talk in the break or somewhere in a social event, then I would be suspicious by everything she says because I'm coming from that she is out there to get me. The last person knowing that it's a program is who? Me. That's the bitch about the programs. That's why it's called unconscious because, or subconscious, doesn't matter. You're not conscious of it. You believe it's her. And those programs run the show, not the ego. The ego just doesn't admit it because the ego thinks it runs the show. The ego thinks, it is in charge of your life. But what actually happens is that those programs determine your experience, and from your experience you usually act. And that's why Carl Gustav Jung quite rightly said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate because you don't see it, that what's causing the upset at the moment is a program and not because somebody said something to you. Especially in relationship, especially with a significant other. Programs. So all the psychologists who are telling you you actually married your mom or you are married actually to your dad, they are quite right. Because what's happening is that the significant other is just triggering dozens of programs that had to do with the people and the persons in your life when you were very early. Like the deep cut is the deepest. So then a relationship is all around programs fighting for domination and win with each other. So now you can do courses in order to change those programs. It's not a bad idea. However, there are so many programs that needs to be actually gotten out of the way so that you are a free human being, free from programs, and therefore being able to design your own destiny, to walk your own path, not a path of reactions to your programs that maybe a couple of lifetimes would not last in order to get it all done. So let's inquire further. Just a side note, and then we come back to the stream where we go to the third operating system. The human brain is a 3-part brain, 100 billion nerve and brain cells. And it's interesting that this brain, what you're sitting in your chair with, is not working holistically. Everything what you do and what you are doing in an hour is a matter of the brain accessing the particular parts of itself that are needed in order to do the job. But there's not a central intelligence. There's no captain. So today everybody believes we are actually in here. Maybe 200 years from now, it is regarded as a superstition of the 21st century that there was actually somebody there, because everybody is laughing in 200 years. How could they possibly believe that? Yeah, no wonder they had such a problem, because if everybody thinks you are there, then of course we fight with each other and all the rest of it, because everybody is not coming from the whole, everybody is coming from a separate individual ego. But we're not there yet as a total insight, but as I told you, I'm going to share some ideas with you that might inspire you to dig deeper. Okay, so we have that as a brain where there's actually nobody in there, and we need now to take a look at what do we have that is the part what we need to have in order to step into the completion of us as a human being. And by that I mean, we talked about the third operating system, consciousness. Somebody mentioned it. Mind, subconscious. Number 3, consciousness. Do we have it? Yes. However, I say we only have it in a passive condition. It's not active. The operating system is passively doing one job. It gives you the power to be aware. Awareness is something that doesn't come from the mind, because you are aware of the mind, so the mind can't produce awareness. Awareness is coming from the third operating system, from consciousness. You don't have to do anything for it, it just is. If you regard that as the evidence for the existence of something outside of the mind and the subconscious, let's work with the word consciousness, then the question is, what would it mean and how would it need to be done to activate consciousness? And how would that look like? And I say that many of you, if not all, have experienced moments of an activated consciousness, because then suddenly you get the experience of life is working, because what you attract suddenly is in flow with what you do. You are not working against life any longer, trying to make your way. No, it's just flowing. Do you remember those hours or days, where you wake up in the morning, you got the light energy about you, you're crystal clear, you get a parking spot just by thinking of it, you get a promotion from your boss, you get a tax return, your strangers are smiling at you, and your energy never stops, and it just is wonderful to be alive. I know that everybody must have had those moments. So have you ever asked yourself the question, why we don't have that as the most natural state, and only sometimes we don't have it? But for most people it's the other way around. Only sometimes they do have that flow. And the rest is the other condition. And I say it has to do with consciousness as an operating system not being active. Now you can ask now the question, so why isn't it active? Well, it's also not a difficult question. In order to have something active, it needs to be stimulated to jump on. Like the brain needs to have stimuli appropriate to get active. If you don't give any stimuli to a baby, nothing is going to happen. The baby is going to die probably. But we do give the stimuli, we do give the environment that the R system, the limbic system, and the little part of the neocortex can develop. So in order for the operating systems and the brain to work, we need to provide for our children the necessary environment that gets that active. And I say you and I have been born into a culture where that is not part of our upbringing. Neither our parents have been aware that they could provide it for us, nor is it part of the curriculum at schools.